How Sara Blakely became a billionaire overnight. What if I told you that a woman who was selling fax machines door to door became a billionaire overnight? Seems like a fairy tale, right? Well, this is the real-life story of Sara Blakely, the founder of Spanx. With just $5,000, no fashion experience, and pure determination, she turned her idea into a billion-dollar empire. Today, we're going to dive deep into how Sara's life changed almost overnight, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what she did and how you can apply these principles to your own life. Welcome back to Smart Money Vids, where we explore the incredible stories of people who turned their challenges into opportunities and built success from the ground up. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more inspiring content like this. Today, we're diving into the incredible journey of Sara Blakely, who went from door-to-door sales to becoming the youngest self-made female billionaire. Sara's story is one that shows us that persistence, creativity, and a bit of boldness can take you from humble beginnings to extraordinary heights. We'll break down her journey into 3 key moments: the rejection she faced and how it shaped her, the turning point where she transformed an idea into a product, and the rapid growth of her company, Spanx. And stay tuned until the end because we'll uncover the secret mindset that Sara credits for her billion-dollar success. The rejection that shaped her. Let's start with Sara's early life. Before she became a billionaire, she was an ordinary person dealing with rejection, just like everyone else. In her 20s, Sara was working a 9-to-5 job selling fax machines door to door. For 7 long years, she faced rejection on a daily basis, knocking on doors, making cold calls, and being told no hundreds of times. But instead of letting it break her, Sara learned a valuable lesson from all this rejection. She became immune to it. Each no wasn't a failure, it was a stepping stone. She learned to embrace failure as part of the process and even kept a journal of her rejections.
There was a moment when I was selling fax machines door to door and I was constantly being escorted out of buildings, or sometimes people would rip up my business card in my face, which was a typical occurrence. And one day I pulled off the side of the road and I literally thought, I'm in the wrong movie. Like, this is not my life. Cut, call the director, call the producer. How did this happen? This is not supposed to be my life. I went home that day and wrote in my apartment in my notebook what my strengths were. And the only thing basically in the strength column that I was sure about was sales. And I said, okay, and what can I do with that? And I ended up writing, I want to invent a product that I can sell to millions of people that will make them feel better.
This mindset of resilience and not being afraid to fail would later be one of the keys to her success. In fact, her father used to ask her and her brother at the dinner table every night, "What did you fail at today?" The goal wasn't to avoid failure, but to learn from it and keep moving forward.
Growing up, my dad used to encourage my brother and me to fail, and he would ask us at the dinner table what we had failed at that week, and if we didn't have something to tell him, he would actually be disappointed. And I didn't realize it at the time, but he was just redefining failure for me. Failure became about not trying, not the outcome. Going through life, the only failure that I ever feel that I've had is if I don't try. So that was a real gift that he gave me.
But how did Sara go from knocking on doors to creating an idea that would change women's fashion forever? The next part of her story is where things get really interesting. The idea that sparked Spanx. One evening, Sara was getting ready for a party and wearing a pair of white pants. She loved the pants but hated how her panty lines were visible, no matter what she did. Frustrated, she grabbed a pair of pantyhose, cut off the feet, and wore them under her pants. Suddenly, her pants looked smooth, and the pantyhose stayed in place without any lines. In that moment, Sara realized she might be onto something. But here's the thing, Sara had no experience in fashion, manufacturing, or retail. She had no connections, no investors, and no clue where to start. But she had one thing, an idea that solved a real problem. She spent the next 2 years working on her product while still holding down her 9-to-5 job. She saved up $5,000, which was all she had to fund the development of Spanx. Sara went from factory to factory, trying to convince manufacturers to take a chance on her product. She was turned down multiple times because no one believed in her idea. But Sara didn't give up. Finally, one hosiery factory owner agreed to produce her prototype because his daughters loved the idea.
I went online and looked up manufacturers that made undergarments and hosiery type products. And I called them on the phone and didn't get anywhere, and eventually I took a week off of work and drove around North Carolina begging all of these men, ironically, that were making our undergarments to help try to make this new type of undergarment. I went in unannounced. I had no appointment. So you can imagine how that went. Most of them escorted me out and said good luck. I got a phone call about 2 weeks later from one of the manufacturer owners, and he said, "Sara, I have decided to help make your crazy idea." I ran it by my 3 daughters at the dinner table, and they told me I should give you a shot.
Even with the product ready, there was still one more hurdle: getting it into stores. Sara approached department stores, pitching her product with no prior experience in retail. She convinced Neiman Marcus to give her a shot by personally demonstrating her product in the bathroom for a buyer. The buyer loved it, and soon Spanx was on shelves. But Sara didn't just rely on department stores. What she did next is what truly took Spanx to the next level: the Oprah effect and rapid growth. The next big break came when Sara sent a sample of Spanx to none other than Oprah Winfrey. And if you know anything about Oprah, you know that being one of her favorite things can change your life. In 2000, Oprah named Spanx as one of her favorite products, and from that moment on, the brand exploded. Overnight, sales skyrocketed, and Sara's small company grew at an astonishing pace. But Sara didn't stop there. She reinvested her profits into expanding Spanx's product line, offering more than just slimming undergarments. She developed leggings, bras, and a whole range of products that provided solutions to everyday fashion problems. In just a few years, Spanx went from being a small startup to a billion-dollar brand. And Sara Blakely became the youngest self-made female billionaire in the world. Practical application. So, what can we learn from Sara Blakely's story? It's not just about being in the right place at the right time. It's about persistence, creativity, and taking bold steps even when you don't know exactly how things will turn out. Here are 3 takeaways you can start using today to move toward your own version of success. Tip 1: embrace failure. Sara's journey shows that rejection and failure are not the end, they are part of the process. Don't be afraid to fail. Like Sara's father taught her, celebrate your failures and learn from them. Tip 2: start small, think big. Sara didn't wait until she had all the answers. She started with a small idea and built from there. You don't need a huge amount of money or experience to start, you just need a problem-solving idea and the willingness to act on it. Tip 3: invest in yourself and your product. Instead of splurging on luxuries after her first success, Sara reinvested in her business. She expanded her product line and focused on long-term growth. Always reinvest in your skills, your ideas, and your future. To wrap things up, Sara Blakely's journey from door-to-door salesperson to billionaire is a powerful reminder that success doesn't happen overnight, but when it does, it's often the result of years of persistence, bold thinking, and resilience. Her story is proof that you don't need to follow a traditional path to achieve extraordinary success. You just need to stay committed to your vision. If Sara Blakely's story inspired you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Smart Money Vids, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future success stories. Remember, you could be one idea away from your own big breakthrough.